So chapter 3, The Inseparable 1379. So all of those chapters in the middle were basically just Marius getting better. Obviously, his grandfather, Monsieur Gillenormand, is just so pleased that he's better, and basically doesn't really care anymore that he has different political views, is just all happy about him being better and surviving. What had become of Jean Valjean? Immediately after having laughed upon Cosette's playful injunction, with nobody paying any attention to him, Jean Valjean. Oh, sorry. And then, so forgot. Okay, so he is there. Marius lives super happy. Ends up back with Cosette because remember now that she knows where he is. He knows where she is. And the grandfather just says it's okay for them to marry. What had become of Jean Valjean? Immediately after having laughed upon Cosette's playful injunction, with nobody paying any attention to him, Jean Valjean had left his seat and unperceived had reached the anteroom. It was that same room that 8 months before he had entered, black with mire, blood and gun smoke, bringing the grandson home to the grandfather. The old woodwork was garlanded with leaves and flowers. The musicians were seated on the couch on which they had placed Marius. Basque, in a black coat, short breeches, white stockings, and white gloves, was arranging crowns of roses around each of the dishes that was to be served up. Jean Valjean had shown him his arm in a sling, asked him to explain his absence, and gone away. So Jean Valjean's arm is in a. This is at the wedding. Right after the wedding, Jean Valjean's arm is in a sling because Jean Valjean did not want to sign the marriage certificate, because remember, he is living under Fauchelevent, which is not a correct name, and he does not want to invalidate the marriage certificate. So he pretends that his arm is injured so that he can't write, so that somebody else has to sign the marriage certificate. The windows of the dining room looked out on the street. For some minutes Jean Valjean stood motionless in the darkness under those radiant windows. He listened. The confused sound of the banquet reached him. He heard the loud and authoritative words of the grandfather, the violins, the clatter of the plates and glasses, the bursts of laughter, and through all the gay uproar he distinguished Cosette's sweet, joyful voice. He left the Rue de Calvaire and returned to the Rue de l'Homme Armé. In return he went to the Rue Saint Louis, the Rue Culture Saint Catherine, and the Blancs Manteau. It was a little longer, but it was the way he used to come every day for 3 months, from the Rue de l'Homme Armé to the Rue de Falaise de Calvaire with Cosette, to avoid the obstructions and the mud of the Rue Ville de Temple. This route Cosette had used excluded for him every other road. Jean Valjean went home. He lit his candle and went upstairs. The apartment was empty. Even Toussaint was no longer there. Jean Valjean's footsteps made more noise than usual in the rooms. All the closets were open. He went into Cosette's room. There were no sheets on the bed. The pillow, without a pillowcase and without laces, was laid on the covers folded at the foot of the mattress, whose ticking was visible, and on which nobody would sleep from then on. All the little feminine objects Cosette loved had been carried away. There remained only the heavy furniture and the 4 walls. Toussaint's bed was also stripped. A single bed was made, and seemed waiting for somebody. That was Jean Valjean's. Jean Valjean looked at the walls, shut some closet doors, shuttled back and forth from one room to the other. Then he found himself in his own room again, and he put his candle on the table. He had released his arm from the sling, and he was using his right hand as though it was not at all painful. He went over to his bed, and his eye fell, was it by chance, was it intentionally, on the Inseparable, of which Cosette had been jealous, on the little case that never left him. On the 4th of June, on arriving the Rue de l'Homme Armé, he had placed it on a candle-stand at the head of his bed. He went to the stand with a sort of alacrity, took a key from his pocket, and opened the valise. Slowly he took out the clothes in which 10 years before Cosette had left Montfermeil.